Hello everyone, welcome to the part 2 of my video in which I am going to be explaining to you the switching on and off of LEDs using just a single switch and multiple LEDs being turned on and off over here. So this particular explanation is going to be done using the Proteus tool. In the previous video I had explained to you how to use this particular Keel Microvision software to generate your particular hex file. Kindly go through part 1 if you have not gone through the same earlier. Now we will be looking into how we will be using this particular Proteus tool. What you need to do is this part of this particular design over here is going to be common for all designs when you use LPC2148. So this part diagram needs to be explained first, so that is what we'll be looking into. So how to take these particular components after you create a new file over here, that is a schematic capture using this particular option, schematic capture. What you need to do first is you need to go into this particular button P over here and you need to select the components that are required. So these are the components that are required for this particular circuit. First you need a capacitor. So for that you're going to type capacitor over here and you're going to make sure that the particular capacitor is a capacitor primitive that you're selecting, and after you select that, click OK. Similarly, next one, you need a particular battery for this particular explanation. So you're going to take cell over here and you make sure that you are having this particular cell device battery single cell. So when this symbol is arrived over here, you click on to OK. And next one, you need an oscillator to generate the particular frequency. So you have a crystal over here, crystal oscillator. So this particular crystal oscillator, you can see that you have crystal device quartz crystal. So that is the one that you are going to be selecting, and this is the symbol for that. Click OK accordingly. Then at the output side, you will be using a red LED for this particular program. So you need to make sure that you type LED, and followed by that you need to make sure that you have red LED that is used. That is what we will be using over here. So make sure that you have this particular LED active animated red LED. Okay, so make sure that you select this particular option over here. And next one, you need to have a LPC microcontroller. Our particular microcontroller is LPC2148, but in our particular Proteus tool we don't have that particular 2148. When you type that, you will not be having that particular option. So what we will be using over here is the LPC2138. So as you can see over here, we have the LPC2138 that is being used. So select this particular microcontroller and click OK. Next we need resistors for the particular reset option, which we will not be using normally, but still we will have to use a particular resistor over here. So that resistor component is selected from this particular device over here, and make sure again it is analog resistor primitive from this particular component. And last but not the least, we need switches for both the input side and the output side, which means we need the switch for our particular program and for the particular reset part of this particular circuit. So we will be having this particular switch which is taken from here. So this particular switch is available, and you need to make sure that you have an interactive SPST single pole switch latched action. So this particular symbol would be available. After you have selected this, click OK. So this is where you get all your components, and when you click on a particular component, you can come here, and when you click it or click on over here, the particular component is being placed over here. If you want to rotate any of these components, you just have to right click. You have two options, right click clockwise or right click anti-clockwise. So whatever you want, you can do accordingly. So this is what you need to do. And if you want to select a particular component, please go to this particular selection mode. So you can select this particular component over here. And if you do not want that component, you just need to click the delete button. So what you need to do here according to your program, this particular area focuses the particular circuit to the particular area of interest. So make sure you click onto that. And here this is your XTAL2, XTAL1, which is for the particular frequency generation. So what you need to do is place your particular crystal oscillator over here, place the two capacitors over here, connect one end to ground, one end to pin number 62, the other end to 61 through the particular crystal oscillator pins over here. After you connect this, please double click the particular crystal oscillator and make sure that you're using 12 megahertz. That is the only change that you need to make over here. Click on OK. Next, you double click on the particular capacitor, double click on it, and make sure both the capacitors have 22 picofarad. So these are the two values that you need to take care of here. And as I had specified to you earlier, we need a particular reset option. So for the reset option, what you're going to do, from the positive of your power supply, you're going to have a resistor connected over here, and you have a particular switch connected over here, and this is connected to RST bar. So you know that it is active low. So when this particular switch is close to over here, you understand that all the supply will come to this particular ground, which means a low signal is coming over here. That is when this particular reset pin is active. That is why you have RST bar over here. If you have RST bar, you need to make sure that it is active when it is connected to ground. So that is why from the power supply, you're connecting this 10K resistor, and through this particular switch, you're going to make sure that all the supply is going to ground over here. So after giving this particular switch connection and this particular R1, the next thing that you need to do is you need to make sure that you double click on this resistor value and give 10K. So this is the resistor value that you'll be specifying over here. So these are the connections with respect to the top part of your microcontroller. Next, you need to give the power supply and ground. Coming to the power supply and ground of this particular circuit, you need to make sure that you have the battery. You take this particular cell, place it over here, double click on that battery and make sure it is 3.3 volt. If you give above 3.3 volt in your to your microcontroller LPC2148, when you are using a hardware, the pins will get damaged. Okay, so please make sure you have the habit of using only 3.3 volt in the simulation also. So the positive of these pins are connected from these or to all these particular pins over here, and similarly the negative of these pins are connected to all these pins over here. So all of these are done with the help of a particular wire. So this is the particular battery supply, positive and negative. Next, you need to come to our particular program. So according to our particular program, I hope you remember that in the program we have declared 8 different LEDs that are outputs and one particular switch as input. So you can see that from pin number 0 to pin number 7, you have all the pins connected to LED, and that is nothing but P0.0 to P0.7. So when you place this particular microcontroller over here, you can see that they are different pins starting from P0.0 all the way to P0.31. See P0.31. All these 32 pins are available for port 0. Similarly, you know that in LPC2148 we have another set of GPIO pins, another set of 16 GPIO pins, and that is connected through port 1. And that is what you see over here, P1.16 to P1.31. So the remaining 16 pins are available here. So these are the pins that are available, GPIO pins that are available from my LPC2148 microcontroller. And now what you need to do is P0.0 all the way to P0.7. All of these you need to connect them to LEDs and individual LEDs. So you can take those LEDs from this particular LED red over here, and you place them over here and make sure that all the cathode ends of these LEDs are connected to ground, and make sure that the individual anode pins of these LEDs are connected to all these pins over here from P0.0 to P0.7 over here according to our program. Similarly, what is written in our particular program is pin number 14, that is P0.14 is an input, which is nothing but the switch over there. So from this particular P0.14, what you need to do is you need to connect it to a particular switch, and this is an input pin. I hope you remember that. So as it is an input pin, you need to connect it to a particular supply. So where do I get this supply and ground? So you need to make sure that you come to this particular terminals mode. You will have this particular option of power and you will have this particular option of ground. You can see this particular symbol over here. This is your particular power symbol. So when you click over here, you will have this particular power supply available over here. So if it is not required, as I told you, click on this particular over here selection mode, come and select this particular option and click delete. So this is where you need to come all the way, and similarly for this particular ground also you need to come to this particular option of ground. If you want to come back to your component mode, what you need to do is you need to make sure that you are coming to this particular component mode where all the components again will be visible. So please make sure this is your power and ground where you will be using over here, and if you want to come back to normal mode you need to come to component over here. So all the connections are being specified over here and you can see them. All the connections is complete. What you need to do next is you need to download the hex file to this particular microcontroller. So you know that the hex file was being generated in the particular folder specified over here in my target options. This particular folder you can give whatever you want in your particular computer. So from that location, what you need to do is you need to make sure that the particular hex file is downloaded here. So you need to double click on this particular microcontroller. Here you will be having the program file option. You need to select this particular folder and go to that particular location where you had saved it. Double click on that particular hex file. So I am using this particular lab8.x file over here for my particular program. That is all. I need to just give OK over here. After this, when this part is completed over here, you have the play option over here, which is a play button. You need to click on this particular play button. And as per our program, I hope you remember, the default condition is to turn on all the LEDs. So you can see that 0 is given to 1 pin number 1 is set to 1, 2 is set to 1, all the way 7 bit is set to 1. So all the bits are being set over here. So what is happening? All the bits are turned on initially. And after that, depending on my particular condition, you are going to see what is going to happen. So as I told you, when this particular pin number 14 is having a 1 value over here, this one and this particular one, both are added together to give you an output and get 1. So that particular, when that value output is 1, you know that the true part of this if statement is going to be executed, which is clearing all the LEDs. So if I turn on the switch, you know that all the LEDs are going to be cleared over here. So when I turn on this particular LED, turn on this particular switch, all the LEDs are turned off. And similarly, when I do the other way around, when I give a value 0 to my particular switch, which means if I turn off this LED, you know what is going to happen? This value is going to be 0, and this value for pin number 14 is set to 1. So pin number 14 over here is having a value 0 in my particular register, and pin number 14 here is set to 1, both added together. So 0 and 1, my output is 0. 0 means the false part of my particular ILF is going to be executed, which means it is going to turn on all my LEDs. So I'm going to set all my LEDs over here. So if I turn off this particular switch, you know that you can see that all the LEDs are turned on over here. So this is just what is happening ulta. So you just need to make sure that the program you have written, it is working according to your particular requirement. So if you want the particular thing to work on the other way around, you can try giving a particular exclamation mark over here, which means it is going to toggle the condition, whatever you have given over here. So whatever condition over here that you have given, if you want to toggle that particular condition, if you are getting 0 over here at the output, 0 complement is 1. So which means it will take the output as 1 over here. So that particular one means you know that the true part is going to be executed. So you can try with what is going to happen when you add this exclamation mark over here. The opposite of what you have done till now will be happening over here. When 1 this particular got executed and 0 this got executed, but here the condition itself will get complemented. That is what I want you to try it over here. Try giving this exclamation mark and try to understand what is the benefit of using this particular exclamation mark. How is it going to work in the other way around as it was working now? So I hope you are able to understand the particular LEDs getting turned on and turned off with this particular single switch over here. Thank you so much.